Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So it has been a little while. I apologise, I did end up with some family stuff going on, and just, just not having the time as of late. But I am back, so that's good. And, let's see what's going on then with the Eastern Front. Okay. So the Red Army is doing the wise thing here. They are pulling back in certain locations, which is shortening the line. For them, but for me as well, which is good, which is very nice. In the fact is I'll be able to condense some of these brigades into, well, these regiments into actual... are they brigades or regiments? They're brigades, aren't they? You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. We'll be able to condense them back into their full divisions. They did abandon Kursk, which is great news for me. I'm glad to be able to retake Kursk. We're not that far from where we originally started out. I mean, we were somewhere along here. So not too far now, which is cool. Right. Okay. So we can see this build-up of Red Army forces in the north over here, which is quite alarming. But I'm not going to allow it to dictate strategy as of yet. Right, we'll have you garrison there, which is not enough, annoyingly. But we'll have to see what we can do. There we go. Now that's a full division. Right, where can we send you? I would like you, probably in this region, to replace the security division in Kharkov. Okay. Yep, that counts as fully garrisoned. Awesome. Okay. Now where to move you? These are all held. That's held. We could have you two hold Kursk, actually. Yep. Right, I'm aware of these troops over here. I also do have some reinforcements over here, another three divisions and, sorry, 2 divisions and a bloody rail engineer unit, which is awesome. Really need to get them to the front line. We need these rail engineers to support our advances. Okay. That's probably the shortest path over here. I'm assigned to anything nearby. Okay. So, is it Control 9? Yeah, there we go, Control 9. So this highlights the building units over here, so we have one there. So, Control 9 again. There we go, we can see them highlighted in red. So the vast majority of them are in the south at the moment, so another one over here will be able to support the advance by the panzers. I can have one over here to support the 2nd Panzer Army. Then these two down here can work on just really increasing our rail logistics and increasing our rail density, supply density. Vyazma is not held at the moment. Man, I love cavalry. I need more cavalry in all honesty. I mean, this division is going to be spread out quite far and wide. But honestly, they are by far the best forces for this role. Okay. Right, checking our logistics. Our logistics is looking decent. Besides here, where we're cut off, which is really rather irritating. That is very irritating, in all honesty. Okay. So there's not going to be much of an advance from here for the time being. So we'll have this unit begin to move towards the 2nd Panzer Army. Not much I can do. Okay, we need to complete the withdrawal of these remaining forces. There we go. No support available as of yet. Okay. 4th. And then the 7th. There we go. Yep, the 2nd Hungarian Army. There we go. Right, worthwhile. I could do with probably having it assigned to this division, to this corps over here. Okay. These forces need to begin to move. Then we'll begin to have them move towards the north. Right. I'm going to advance to shorten the border. Well, the front, I should say. Obviously, this is going to impact my logistics, but I need this territory. If I could get it like this, that'd be great. There we go. Nothing there. Okay. I kind of do want the town as it's obviously a good defensive location. But we'll just move there. There we go. No. Okay. The line is beginning to narrow now, which is fantastic. I need to build up the logistics behind them. So this rail line will be a priority, but we should be able to handle that. Okay. There's a large amount of armor there. T-34s, which is cool. Some Panzer. What do they call them again? The oh, there we go. The Panzerjäger. There we go. Panzerjäger 38. Sweet. Okay. I need to build up sufficient pressure on their front line to be able to break through. Which should be doable. The mud has bought them a lot of time. Time to especially prepare too. Okay. I'll move you over here. Actually. When do you withdraw? Okay, so that's the 10th Panzer Division. 10th Panzer Division. Whoops. Pressing everything but the right button. Right. The Das Reich will be withdrawn soon. That's going to be interesting to see how they do that. Not for a while anyway. The Dreizack will come back as a Panzergrenadier division. That will be awesome. The 2nd SS Panzer Corps. Sweet. Okay, awesome. Do we have anything in the National Air Reserves? See, why are you even empty? That doesn't even make much sense, but either way. We have a lot apparently. Yeah, lots of BF-110s. Sign a few here. Yeah, this group really lacks in actual anti-air. Well, fighters. We're decent off down here. There we go. Add some reconnaissance. Right, start working on this line. Oh well. Okay. Move the air units forward. Oh, not that one can't anyway. God damn, there's a lot of them. Ah, right, I see. There we go. Right. So we can see that we have an army over here, the 109, sorry, the 26th Army. Okay. Right, let's build the Romanian forces up on the line here. I could build them up in this area. Right, consolidate. Interdicted. Refit off. There we go. There we go, so we'll start to mass Romanians in these lines here. That allows me to consolidate German forces further. We do need to rescue you. Okay. Okay. Form into breakthrough positions. Okay. So we're right on the front line. We need the infantry to punch through, then the armor will hopefully go around. Ideally, I can push the panzers through here, and we can form like a small pocket here. I think that's definitely doable. We still have all the self-propelled guns like the Stokes to assign, all that extra power. Okay, turn refit off. Yes, these panzer corps are lacking in terms of actual supply. But they'll recover. Right. Actually, we'll keep them as they are right now. I want them to be able to build up fuel. How much would that cost me? Not too much. There we go. So second panzer is going to build up even more fuel. Right then. We'll drop about 200 tons of fuel. Seems I can't manage that. There we go. I guess we don't have anything available then. Right, rail capacity still 14,000. That's still pretty good. Have you reassigned to the 4th Panzer Army? What do we have here then? So we have a Guards Rifle and a Guards Cavalry Corps. Really? That's rough. Right, that'll be next turn. Actually... yeah, there we go. Awesome, we got them all on the tracks. That's very, very nice. Okay. That gives me a lot of tactical flexibility now. Also increase power in this area too. We can have the divisions deployed down here. At least then I have more immediate power to hit back at any sort of strike. But this is the weak part of the line here, and then it's just onto the Panther line, which isn't quite yet established. Most importantly, I'll be able to withdraw these Luftwaffe Jaegers and have them made available for duty elsewhere, i.e. garrison. Right, there we go. They should be able to come off the train as well. Yep, just enough points. Sweet. Okay. Rail cap, only 187. So yeah, obviously not enough. Okay. So the groundwork has been made ready. Right, move up the air power. Righto. Not bad. They're almost up there in AFE numbers. But I'd like to see what sort of, what sort of things they actually have. Right, 1,326. So the line is shortening to some degree, which is good news. We are building up fuel in the 2nd Panzer Army, so we'll go with that. Down here in Crimea, we have to build up. I'm going to have the German forces try to punch through here, but there's a significant amount of force down here. I mean, this seems to be where most of their air power is, but there's a lot of headquarters for some reason. It's very intriguing. So we'll go forward. So, Operation Trident really depends on a lot, to be honest. It depends on the ground conditions, it depends on the amount of fuel that we have, it depends on how the enemy responds. But everything will go smoothly, I think. Once we take out a number of Red Army forces, sort of bring them back down to our sort of numbers, then things will be much easier. But yeah, just look at all the forces they've built up over here. If they launch the offensive this turn, then it's going to be dangerous, but we'll be able to hold it. To be honest, I do want them to launch that offensive. I want them to commit to it. Once they commit to it, then yeah, they're going to find it extremely hard to be able to reposition against another offensive. I mean, you take a look at their vehicle pool, and their vehicle pool isn't exactly doing too good either. To say the Red Army, which has all the rail capacity in the world, has only 105,000 trucks is pretty damning. Obviously that's more than what they need for now, so they're doing okay. But we'll see. Short term. I think in the end, was it either a third or 2/3? I think it was either a third or 2/3. Probably a third, maybe, of trucks in the Red Army were American. That was pretty interesting. I mean, Lend-Lease was absolutely essential. It allowed the Soviet industries to be geared almost exclusively towards war. Right. Yep, attrition's pretty high. I just can't believe how much they've lost. I mean, we're at 6.1 million losses now. Okay. And we have the good weather. Check the log. Yep, and... Right, now this is the thing here. The Europe zone is clear. And will remain clear next turn. However, next turn, the mud will return for some time. This is a issue here, obviously, as, well... the good weather isn't quite yet here. 10th Panzer Division was upgraded to 42A. Right. Nice, more forces have arrived. These HS-12s. I think these are the duck-nosed ones, which is pretty nice. Okay. So the issue is we don't have too much fuel in our actual headquarters, so I could do with actually putting more fuel in there. Our fuel pool is... it's not too bad. I mean, the thing here is the fact... yeah... We do have a lot of actual like fuel in store, but it's getting it to the front line. I mean, in Leningrad, we have 28,407 fuel. Well, tons of fuel, which is a lot of fuel. It's just obviously getting that out and about, which is the difficulty. Trucks, 89 out of 111. Not good. Right. Let's do our reconnaissance. Figure out what's going on. They're definitely building up in certain areas. Remaining the same here. Right, they're building new units by Yaroslavl. As we can see here. Unfortunately, they have reinforced this area here. So, what we could do then... Yeah, this is the issue, because they've gained like another 100,000 men here. They're starting to make up on where they're weak. But what I could do is I could launch my Operation Trident in a series. So I intend to start at the same time, but if we could start down here in the south perhaps, well in the centre, and then launch this assault. I could force them to divert their attention elsewhere and ultimately leave this hopefully lighter defended. We could also start our punch over here. Which is as intended. Right, so let's just pull these forces back over here. Interdicted. We did lose a few men, however. Okay, there we go. Significant increase in force here now. I mean, the fact is that we have divisions, more or less, along the entire line. More or less. There's a lot of partisan activity here. Rails are still not able to be used at the moment. Just kind of disappointing. I don't know why that is. Yeah, the rails are still down here. Though I can advance from over here, so that's okay. It's better than nothing. Damn good turn for them to do it too. Yeah, once we link up these rails, start to head down this way. It's this partisan group here, I just can't get to it. Right, now I can. There we go. Yeah, see, they can go beyond that line. Right, this river line is really good. I'd like to hold that line myself. Okay, you're really quite far away from your own forces. I do have Romanian Jaegers over here. Or basically Romanian mountain. That's disappointing. Okay. That's irritating. Now go take it down. So, we have the 10th Army. Okay. So, I mean, we are almost in line now, which is quite good. It's returning to where we were at the end of the summer. Well, basically November, December. But we are getting there. I don't know if it's wise to start the operation... Well, start Operation Trident now. I feel I'd rather wait out the bad weather until we have clear weather, like consistently clear weather, and then go forward. Because then at least we can build up the fuel that's needed. But then again, I might miss out on time here. It's just... I don't think I could really make an operation... I mean, if I could encircle these guys here, that would be a great start. The issue here, of course, is the fact of these forces. What I could do is I could use the infantry and push forward, which is wise. I think using the infantry would be a good idea. Keep them on their toes. Push forward, establish more of a buffer zone for us. And also I could move a bit further with the rail lines, and then once we do have the consistently good weather, we're going to find it much easier to be able to move forward. But we are building up this buffer room. We're also allowing time for the Panther line to be established. Okay. Move to Kursk. Lovely. Yeah, you can move quite far. Have you assigned to the 2nd Panzer Army? There we go. Right, I could go repair that. And again, I could always go down here. Which I will do. Now go 4th Army. With the good weather, this is the time that we can clear up partisans. There we go. So at least if we can clear out the partisans, we should be much better off. There's a lot of partisans in this area. Right, how are we doing over here? Right, 3, 2. only one over here, but we need to keep on digging in. That's what I need. That river line is going to be crucial. I need to make it to this rail line here. Excellent. There we go. Right, so we could start to push these forces back. I mean, if I can get to the river line here, that's good. Okay, they're gonna hold. Right, that's what I needed. Obviously, I can't really feel that position right now. But if I can unhinge their defenses, that's good. There we go. Yeah. I need these forces to... I don't know. It's a very awkward front at the moment. It's a very awkward front. But we do have those Luftwaffe Jaegers now available. So what I'll do is I'll spread them throughout the occupied territories. Yeah. Yep, now we have 3 infantry divisions. So force disposition. It's not that bad, actually. I mean, they theoretically have 442, but in reality they only have 435. Whereas we should have 412, we have 410, which is pretty good. AFE number's still solid. And we did receive... Let's see... Yeah, it's just this forecast here. I just don't think it's worthwhile moving the Panzers as of yet. I need them to gather fuel. Right, Das Reich is scheduled to disband in about 5 turns. And then they'll withdraw, well, they'll return as the Das Reich Panzer Grenadier Division, which is going to be amazingly powerful. Right, 9871. Trying to remember how you search, but right. $98.71. That's a down in itself. Ah. 98.71. So I'm assuming that's already been assigned, perhaps. Right, so control 1. Ah, no, whoops. That's not good. Right, so overall headquarters is in red, then the headquarters lower than that, so the army headquarters is in orange, then lower than that is... yeah, so let's see. So we have cores in blue. Cores... yeah. And then orange is obviously the army groups. Right. You can see it applies to the enemy too. So we can see here we have actual... like these are equivalent... These are like front headquarters. So we have a front headquarter here, here, here. And... we're not seeing one over here. But there's one here. And we're not seeing one over here. So those are the high-level headquarters. So this is where the main amount of headquarters are. I mean, look at how many they have down here. It's insane. Right, I want to see who got that siege. We'll have these... Fair enough. I should lock the amount of support that you're actually getting, because I mean, these units here needed elsewhere. Okay, I can actually assign them. Right, wasn't you? Ooh, Jagdpanzer. They're damn handy. So we have a Panzer Battalion. So we have Panzer 38 TEs, and then we have Panzer 2Fs. So nothing exactly incredible, in all honesty. But still. Armor is armor. Half-tracks. Only one of them at the moment. Aye. Good number of tanks. Okay, I guess we'll have to look on the unit then. Or perhaps equipment. I think this just tells me. Units then. Here we go, regiments. Right, security divisions. God damn it. Ah, there we go, battalion. What were they called? It was the 833rd Siege Artillery. German. That's 3/800th. See, I want that siege artillery. Yeah, it's gun battalion. Hmm. Only 2 guns. So 105. Fair enough. A 210 over here. Right, yeah. So I've not seen anything there. Ah, here we go. Siege Company. There we go, we have the Carl. 600mm siege mortar. Wondered where the hell you were. So then... Ah, there we go. Ah. See, I don't know what to do with that now. I mean, I could use that for some seriously hard-hitting power. That is some heavy, heavy firepower. That is a luxury item. I mean, I could have it down here in Crimea, actually. That would be good. I mean, obviously with the tight confines, the heavy, heavy artillery will make a massive difference. I like that. Okay. So I'll have you assigned to Army Group Sud. So Army Group Self. Sud. There we go, AGS. And then we can have it assigned to this force, really. And I could have it assigned to this force as like a luxury. Like a true luxury. When are they actually upgraded? Right, September 1943, they become an air landing division. Well, 43. They gain quite a bit more. Okay. Ah, they can't attack. That's rather embarrassing. So I do need to move one force over. Right. Yep, the 1st Hungarian Armoured. Routed. So see the details of the battle. Yeah, 7.74 to 1. Ouch. Okay. Right, destroyed. So they had a lot of their men disrupted. So 15 bombings, 18 escorts, 0 sweeps, 23 close air patrols. They did have a decent amount of air support from their 13 MiG-3s, 10 Yak-1s, a few LAGs, and then 25 LAGs, GGGs. Right, either way. So combat value was 264, their combat value was 72. rounded down to 66.3. Ours was rounded up to 513.7. Okay. Awesome. So that went very well. That opens that up. See, now you can see why we need, like, these bloody siege mortars. Right, so we'll have the strongest troops at the front. Yeah, that's rather difficult to deal with. So, I mean, if we had everything act as a reserve, possibly be able to break through. We still have 155 tanks. I mean, the Nimrods are fairly cool. I mean, those Bofors AA guns are pretty nice. Yeah, it's the Panzer IVs that do the work here. I mean, we do have 17 Panzer IVs with the KWK 37L24. That's a decent gun. Okay. I won't be able to break through here. But they're not going to be able to break through here either. So once we do get those siege mortars here, we can have some Stugs assigned down here too. And then at least, I mean, once we're through this choke point, then things become significantly easier. Okay. Move our men up over here. Right, begin to branch out. Notice how under strength they are. That's very, very telling. Build up the morale here. So, I mean, we have 66 morale. $68, yep, that's really nice. That boosts them up significantly. Unfortunate. Wow. That guard's brigade. Yeah, good luck with that. Good. Yeah, we'll be able to do that. Surprising. Okay. I mean, the fact that this is almost a full-strength infantry division is pretty impressive at this stage. I mean, considering that we just come through the winter, where we should have lost a lot more men, we've been doing fairly well here. Quite happy with those results, really. Right, force them back. Yeah, so that was a cavalry corps and a rifle division for them to only have about just above a rifle division strength. Actually, I'd have to check on the actual number in a Soviet rifle division. I'm just going to quickly go through my book here, see if I can find something on that. That'd be quite good. At the moment, I'm reading Absolute War by Chris Bellamy. I did finish When Titans Clashed by David M. Glantz. That was a really good book, by the way. Absolute War's pretty awesome book so far. It builds upon the series. Who was the series now? It was based the Road to Stalingrad and the Road to Berlin. I can't remember who wrote that, but it's basically it builds up from that. I decided to read this one because it's more up to date with the new Soviet archives information, or released from the archives in the Soviet Union and then different locations. So it's more up to date. But I'll go back and I'll read those at some point in the future. I just like to be able to contrast. Okay, let's find some actual information here. And if I wanted to, I could try to work out approximately, like, strength of different fronts. Quite easily. It seems like most Red Army rifle divisions at the moment are about 8,000 to 9,000 in strength. Seems to be the approximate number that we're working with here. Okay, still trying to find some information. We'll be all the way at the back. If it is, that is. Oh no, it doesn't actually have a table of equipment. Fair enough. That would be in David M. Glantz's book, which is, one moment. Okay. Go to the back. So looking at When Titans Clashed, How the Red Army Stopped Hitler, David M. Glantz, and Jonathan M. House. Come on. Right, passive bibliography. To the information. Am I just missing everything here? Right. Okay. Almost there now. Actually, can kind of get some information on numbers. So let's see. So we are in what? So a moment. Okay. So we're in May at the moment. May 1942, so I can get that. So we have a comparative strength of combat forces Soviet German front, 1941 to 1945. This is from the 7th of May. It puts the Soviet strength at 4,663,697, with 397,978 in hospital, for a grand total of 9,597,802 men. Yes. Okay. With the Germans being at 2.5 million. For a grand total of 3.176. Well, 3,176,200 men in total, with 450,000 Finns, 55,000 Romanians, 58,000 Italians, 17,000 Spanish, and 16,200 Slovakians. So if we compare that to what we're working with now, yeah, we're actually well over strength here. Well over strength. Over 900,000. Which is pretty damn impressive. And the Soviets are... Wow, they've lost a lot of men. That's impressive. Okay. Yeah, there's different numbers here, though. We had the 7th of... oh, sorry, no, this was 7th of March. The numbers for the Soviets and Jones were 7th of March. For the 5th of May 1942, we have a grand total of 10,167,305 Soviet forces, so that's everybody in the entire Red Army, with over 1,040,000 being in hospital. The German strength is 3.472700, so 3,462,700. Indeed. So, there was an increase in strength, so 2.55 million Germans, 80,000 in northern Norway, and then we have 450,000 Finnish troops, 55,000 Romanians, 250,000 Hungarian reinforcements, though they were en route, 54,000 Italians, 17,000 Spanish, 16,700 Slovakians. Lots of Spanish, really. It's not something you really hear about, which is pretty interesting. But anyway, let's, like the Blue Division, I'd like to read up on them at some point, actually. Right, let's try and find like a table of equipment, and then I can give you guys some numbers. Okay. Actually, there's another page here that I can contrast. Let's see. Right. So, from the 1st of September to 1st of September 1942, the Wehrmacht had lost 922,000 men, over 90% in the east. So, 922,000. So we've lost just over 1 million men in total now. Though, that is dead, missing, or disabled. So, we have 323,000 men dead. Quite a lot, really. I'd imagine a lot of that being allies, mostly. I wish you could sort that into, like, allies and Germans. That would be kind of handy. Because this one is basically just losses of Wehrmacht, so that would be German losses. I don't think there's a way for me to check for only German losses. I believe there's an update where it, like, sorts this information out a little bit further. But anyway, so 922,000, that's from the 1st of September to the 1st of September 1942. So we're not doing badly. I mean, that's obviously taken into account, like, Axis losses, so that's Romanian, Hungarian, Italian, Spanish, Slovakian. Okay. Right, so looking for that table of equipment. I know I'm, like, rambling here. Table of equipment, where art thou? Actually, something else we couldn't contrast. I know, it's getting a little bit annoying, isn't it, right? Rightio. So... Okay. So, Soviet weapons production strength for losses, 1941 to 1945, so Soviet weapon production. So, approximately in 1941, there were 4,700 tanks and self-propelled guns. Obviously, that does indicate the fact of the massive losses from Barbarossa. At 1942, 24,500. So, for them to be at, like, what? Wrong thing here. So, for the Red Army to be at only 5,758, while 5,861, yeah, they're at a fifth of their armoured fighting strength for 1942 historically. 1943, that increases to, well, decreases to 24,100. 1944, 29,000. 1945, 16,000. So that's pretty interesting. Okay. Right, moving on. Oh, I don't have a table of equipment, god damn it. It'll be in there somewhere. Be in there somewhere. It's one of those things I didn't actually expect to be looking for this sort of thing right now, so... I don't have all my books in order. Let's see... Okay, either way, we'll call the session to an end here. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. And if you do have any other books to recommend me, then do let me know down below. I look forward to reading them. But we will be able to carry out these infantry attacks in the following session. And then I'll leave it to you guys. Do we want to push forward the Panzers now? I don't think we want to be pushing forward Panzers now. That's my personal opinion on it. And the reason for that is obviously the mud is about to come next turn. It's only going to stay clear in the Europe zone, so all these Soviet zones here are going to turn to mud, which means that we're going to find things difficult, really. Actually, let's take a look at the amount of fuel that we managed to get into 2nd Panzer. So 2nd Panzer is there with 185% fuel. If I leave them here again, they might be able to reach 200% fuel, and possibly more. So with that much fuel, yeah, they're going to be able to move quite far. But if they move through mud, that's going to reduce that amount of fuel. It's going to waste a lot of it. So my personal thoughts is we push forward with infantry. I mean, there was a point when we were all the way back here. I mean, there was a point when Bryansk was threatened. We've managed to retake Irae, Kursk, Tula over here. Ryazan we never captured, but we are looking likely to potentially capture that in the future. Moscow is increasingly buffered by forces. We have these Luftwaffe Jaegers to spread out and occupy more of the cities here so we can reduce the amount of partisans in total and just really get things in order. I'd love to try and rescue these forces over here at Stalingrad. They've done an exceptional job, an exceptionally ludicrous job now to hold out there. I mean, the fact is that we only have, like, 2 light tanks and 7 medium tanks. That's crazy. I need to get them out of there, though. I want to get them out. So we might take a look at trying to just force our way through here with the 1st Panzer Army. The issue with that is, though, obviously the lack of fuel down here in the 1st Panzer Army is not too good. I'd rather use infantry to be able to push our way through here, but I do need to consolidate more infantry. So we might have to use a mix. We do have these forces on the rail over here, which I do need to start to move north. But that's going to be easier said than done with these rails being tampered with. So I could always have them move down here, which I might consider doing that instead, actually. Having 3 Jaeger divisions down here would be sufficient to help me push through here. And Jaeger divisions obviously being good in the poor terrain, and in mud could be quite powerful. Actually, they would be very powerful next turn with the mud. So we could use them to actually push forward, start to push a gap here. Importantly, push this rail line so I could establish logistics across the river. And then from there, seek a rendezvous with the Panzer forces, which can move quite far. I mean, that's the Panzers, the Leibstadter, or Adolf Hitler, Liebenstadter, I like that word, can move quite far. We'll see. There's a lot to be discussed, really. There's a lot that could go wrong, there's a lot that could go right. I need to push them to the lake here, which I can't quite manage, but next turn we should be able to do that. And then once we do that, the only way for them to actually reinforce this front or this front here is to go on this railroad. And if I could push the Finnish forces down here and take this railroad here, or at least damage it. If I could damage it, that would be excellent. Just damaging the damn thing would be sufficient. I need to consolidate these forces into actual usable formations. The issue is we're having to hold a lot of territory. I mean, frankly, considering that Leningrad has been neutralized and is now held by our Axis forces, I don't really need to hold that line. I don't know. I really don't, actually. That's the truth there. We'll see. Is this Panzer Regiment over here as well? I do have plans for this. I mean, it could be an excellent force to precipitate a breakthrough. But of course, I'd rather have it... I don't know, I might just have it assigned to the Panzer Army over here. I mean, that would boost our number of Panzers quite nicely. And there's, what, 164 Panzers in there? So what we're looking at now with Panzer Army. So this is the 4th Panzer Army. So if you take a look at 4th Panzer Army's AFE numbers. Right, so clear filters. Well, we'll go to headquarters, actually. So. Okay. So 4th Panzer Army, bring that up with another 164 Panzers. That would take us to 1,200, maybe closer to 1,300 Panzers. That's a significant increase in force disposition. That increases the amount of punch that we have. And especially considering that they are reinforcing this front now, that's quite dangerous. I think with the forces down here, we must move possibly some elements of 2nd Panzer, perhaps. It really does depend. The fact is, if we can advance, I don't know, let's say 1 or 2 hexes deeper into Soviet territory. And start to... I need to slightly push them out of the way. I need to just fold them out. So like that. And then open a path. It's going to be difficult because I need 1st Panzer to move at the same time. I think we'll start with this phase. So we'll call this phase 1 of Operation Trident. Well, technically this is phase 1 of Operation Trident to punch through to the lake over here, separate this force, make it so they have to move by a rail or they assault this area here. So that's phase 1. Phase 2 is the pushers from the 1st and 2nd Panzer Army in the south. Phase 3 is the pushers by the 3rd and 4th Panzer Armies towards Yaroslavl, and then onwards to Volgoda. Phase 5 really is like a... it's a sort of open one, but it's basically the advance into Crimea. I think we'll be able to break this down. Possibly, anyway. I mean, with the siege mortars, so the 600mm mortars, we'll have some STGs, STUGGs, so the Stugs, the assault tanks, while the assault guns moved in there to reinforce. More Hungarian forces are on their way to reinforce the area here too. The Romanians will be able to pull back, reinforce. I'll have them move up eventually to join their Romanian compatriots. We'll have further reinforcements soon. Yeah, next turn we gain the 24th Panzer Division, Nebelwerfer Regiment, the Moscow Luftwaffe Jaeger Regiment, interesting, 4th Italian Air Base, sweet. We do lose the 10th Panzer Division, however, so 10th Panzer Division is going to be withdrawn next turn, so I'll have to replace the 10th Panzer Division with the 24th Panzer Division, which is good. I mean, at the moment they do have less guns than the 24th. So the 24th will be ready, their morale will be higher too, which is awesome. Then we gain quite a number of infantry divisions. We gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry divisions, a Hungarian armoured division, which is awesome. Though it looks like it's going to have to start from scratch in terms of actual numbers. And then soon we'll gain, I mean next month we'll be able to gain like Italian forces. So our numbers will increase quite nicely. And the Italian forces, the Hungarian forces, Romanian forces, it's going to take off more of a slack for the German forces, which is awesome. So then I can use the German forces to keep on advancing. I mean, take a look at this river line. I'd like to maybe end on that. Ultimately, I do want to get to Baku. I would like to do that. I mean, the reason why I've selected Saratov really as the meeting place for the second phase is if I can get over here and cut these rail lines, then that cuts off the entirety of the south from the north and centre. And with that, that completely separates the Red Army. And if we can keep them separated, that allows us to really start to grind them down. It separates their supply bases, separates their reinforcements, and I don't think they can, I don't know, they may be able to build up more reinforcements to the south, but we'll see. But ultimately it's going to force them to play their hand. But anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. Sorry about the long waits. Yes, another thing as well, Minds.com, I swear to God, I do not know how it works. I tried uploading the War Pacific video 3 times, it just does not work for some reason. So I'll have to do a little bit more work on that, and then I'll have to upload more there too. As at the moment, YouTube, it's just, it's a shithole. It's going downhill. For the sake of a few ridiculous stream videos with 900 views, they decided to basically punish everybody on YouTube. So that's pretty rough. I mean, my earnings have gone from okay. I mean, I was making some money, not a huge amount of money, but a decent amount of money. It was enough to buy me a book every now and then, which was awesome. And I have been obviously buying books, as you guys can tell from me, like reading out nonsense from books. But yeah, things have changed now. So really, from the future, it's going to be pretty much Patreon keeping a lot of creators going, which is both good and bad, but we'll have to see. So yes, if you guys do have the capability and actually do want to support me, then please do consider doing that, as it does help me carry on doing this. So you can always go down to my Patreon or PayPal, that makes a big difference. And again, yes, goodbye for now, guys. I hope to see you all very, very soon. Have a great day, whatever you are, whatever you're doing. Goodbye for now, guys. Have a great day.